Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to SimTraX Broadcasting. This is Patrick Morrison coming to you live here with the NSR Series. Yes, the NSR Series. We've been with these guys before and definitely excited to rejoin them here at the Daytona 500 here tonight. Of course, these guys are in the Gen 4 cars. You may be thinking these cars, hey, these look familiar. Yep, you're right. In the Gen 4 cars that they will be, and this is an open setup league. So we're going to take a quick peek here right off the bat to see how the great American race is going to go here. 100 laps you're going to see here tonight with a 70% fuel limit. Of course, there will be absolutely no faster pairs out here tonight. So what they've got is what they've got to bring. So they've got to be super careful here tonight, and they've got to watch how much speed that they put down and how careful they are out there on the track. We'll check in here on the tires. I believe I've got 3 sets here with an open setup, so you'll see a lot of guys pick up that suspension a little bit, raise that tire pressure, and see if they can dip that nose down just a hair to get a little more speed here tonight as they wrap around this 2.5-mile track. Temperature on the track will be 97 degrees, so let's see how that is going to fare for them. Now, we get on this straight on here to our starting grid here for the night. We definitely want to move on to that as Cody Porter and Nathan Landwehr will start in the number 1 and 2 position. Looks like Johnny Avila will be starting in third next to Brian Whitney. Kyle Hubbard and Patrick Gettner will be in the row number 3. Jason Crumley and Stoney Benfield. You guys might remember Stoney if you guys are tuning back in here to SimTraX. Out there, of course, in the NC811 car. Let's see how he does. But Scott Millard and Devin Lockridge will be starting in row number 5 here. Looks like Mark Sikosi sits 11th next to Brian Wiggins. Moving on back here for the rest of our field as we try to truck through this pretty quick. Michael Waite, Shane Wheeldon, Justin Cope, and Jason Ledford. Moving on to Jeremy Queener, Andy Reeves, John Russo, and Darren Ingram. Ingram way here in the back. Odd enough to see him starting that far back here. Hopefully we'll see him fight up to the front. Delansky, Williams, Mata, and Bosever starting all the way back here in the 24th position as we get the green flag underway here. Stella joining alongside me tonight. This should be a good race. Alrighty, drivers shooting through turn 1 and 2 here. Already a couple of guys ducking on off the field here, looking like they don't want to fight here early in the race. And unfortunately, one of them is going to be Michael White out there in the 53. You might notice him in the black and orange car. A little crazy out there. You might want to slow it down just a hair as this track is extremely bumpy. Stella, I know you're checking these guys out here on the track as they bob up and down. We're at the Legacy track. These guys are expecting a lot of potholes going through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Oh, yeah. This is the prior to the Daytona Rising. We haven't had a nice set of pavement on here for about 20 years. So this track's got some character to it.
All right, Jason Ledford out there in the Tony Stewart machine as he moves his way up to the front as he is trying his best to come up with a little bit of something. Now, he has actually worked his way up and now is falling back, unfortunately, as he tucks in right now, I believe, about that 15th position here, and we'll see how well he can get it done. Right now, I believe that is also the driver, Andy Reeves, will be sitting caddy corner to him. I believe that's in the 29 Kevin Harvick machine, and that should be the 26 out there, Justin Williams. You'll see a little bit of throwback out there to the mellow yellow machine in the 26. So why don't we move our way up to the front where we see Stoney Benfield. Currently, he is sitting in 6th. Got some room in front, got some room behind. He's about a quarter of a second, 3/10 off from front to rear. So looks like he is trying to make sure he's got plenty of room around him so he can either get away or get out of sight if he can. A couple of drivers have yet to move here in the race. Cody Porter has had the lead at the beginning, still sits in the lead in front of Avila, who's currently in the 88 machine there of Dale Jarrett's. Right now he's still fighting around, taking a look, or seeing if he can get around him. And right now Landwehr sitting right behind him in the 28. Now those two had swapped positions as we get this race underway, starting lap number 4, still charging up to the front. Speaking of charging here, Stella, right now, biggest charger here of the race is going to go back there to Justin Williams in the 26 machine. He's currently sitting in 16th, but we've got a huge gap here in the back, especially around that Kyle Hubbard area. He's sitting 1.2 off pace here, and he's trying to catch back up to Jason Crumley, but that doesn't seem to be happening. Jason Crumley in front, Jason Ledford behind him here. And he is separating himself big time. So right now, there's a good chance we're going to see Kyle Hubbard get caught here by Jason Ledford as he's got company behind him. And they may try to work and see if they can fight their way up to the front. But finally, Justin Cope starting to get some light out here and try to get some camera time as he nails down the fastest time out there on the track. 44:34. Stella, that's blazing speed.
Oh, you bet. A couple of these other guys are in the 44 range, but they're not quite to that thousandth of a second mark.
Yeah, great job out back. Justin Williams holding on to it there. It looks like Ledford actually came down and tried to take the nose of his car off. And some of these guys are having a little bit of learning curve. These things are shaped more like an ARCA car. As you can see, we're sitting on top of Justin Cope's machine now. A little more shovel-nosed in the front. So these guys will actually tuck in behind another car and not actually push here, Stella. That is kind of the misconception a lot of guys have with these cars. With that shovel nose, it actually will tuck underneath and pick the rear end of the car up of the guy in front of you. Last thing you want to do is unload the suspension. So you'll see some guys do a little nudge, but there is not a whole lot of bump drafting out there, as you do not want to get the guy in front of you turn. Notice how the distance that we have as we see the number 8 of Mark Sikosi sitting in the 10th spot, gaining 1 here on the night. Not too bad, but he's definitely like to shoot his way up to a top 5 where a lot less problems actually arise. I would say really your hot zone is going to be between spot number 10 and spot number 17. But Stella, a lot of things are already changing. We've already got a huge separation by 5.5 seconds off the rest of the field here.
Yeah, that 5.5 seconds is basically insurmountable unless these guys really get teamed up. I will be very surprised whether they'll catch again. Number 19 there needs to pull in, David Ingram. At least make a little train of 3, and perhaps those guys can do it. But with such a pack behind, I don't anticipate it.
I know. I try not to poke the bear a little bit here or say somebody may have been lacking a little bit. But there may be an option here of what we're maybe missing. Is this being an open setup league? I'm wondering if these guys didn't get these things quite dialed in. And that is the difference. We've seen the guys who have put in the time lead by 8 seconds over the back half of the pack. So these guys may be our faster ones out of the field. Seeing that, oddly enough, yes, everybody ahead has still hitting a 45-second turn here for their races. We move all the way back here to Jeremy Queener, hitting 46.5. These guys are all 46.5 back here. So they are over a second off of pace each and every lap. So right now, Cody Porter's kind of laughing this one off as him and his team have set this car up, and apparently it looks like the top 12 have done just that.
Well, I'll tell you, Cody Porter's no slouch, though. If you look back a couple races, he was second place in the Bud Shootout, and he won the Gatorade. So the duels, which weren't quite duelish, but we've got a few of them up here. We'll also mention Johnny Avila, who is currently in second. He won the Bud Shootout. So yes, we've got those who have been practicing, those who have been right up in the top since the beginning. Nathaniel Landwehr also came in third in the Bud Shootout, and one of our missing fellas tonight, Jared Magoon, he's actually down at Daytona along with Doug Macedo and Jacob Kaplan, if you are looking for either one of those fellas tonight.
Yeah, Daytona's got to be one of those things to see. I've been to Richmond, Darlington, and Indianapolis. I would say super speedways are a pretty cool track to go to, but you don't really see a whole lot of the cars. They come around about every minute or so. I prefer seeing cars every time, so I think I'm more of a short track guy. But oddly enough, what you see here, when we talk a little bit about NASCAR drivers and the fans, a lot of those hotbeds you see are people from North Carolina, people from Florida, and people around the Alabama or Kansas area that will actually see those guys shift around and kind of rotate around the tracks around that area. So Seeing them missing, I've got to say I'm not surprised. If you got a chance to go to the Daytona 500, 100% I agree with you. But man, oh man, is this going to put you on the back foot going into the chase this year? As this is going to be a tough sling of races that we got here. I believe next race we are going to Atlanta. So that is going to be a nail-biter there as they fight their way through and see if they can maintain any kind of speed out there. If you guys are tuned in here to SimTraX Broadcasting, we move over to Nora on Monday. We'll actually be over at Rockingham and their 2004 series. As I can tell you, right now this is an extremely popular car out here on iRacing, and a lot of guys are liking it. And the biggest thing that they're not really a complaint. The biggest feedback that we are getting is this is such a driver's car. Everybody's enjoying it. Everybody's having a blast out there watching these races. Everybody's enjoying how these cars handle. If you make a mistake, you can recover. Rather than a next-gen car, these guys, the car almost drives itself. If you nudge it off the wall, nothing really happens, but it's a whole lot of pack racing. This requires a lot of strategy, and this requires a lot of skill, and that's exactly what you like to see is these guys out here racing around and trying to keep it along. But Stella, I'm fairly certain, looking at some of our timeline here, and I will double check my notes here, that the timeline that they are doing actually for this series, I believe, goes from 92 to 04 is where they're opening up for any of these paint schemes you may be looking at out there, which would explain the number 6 out there was the old Mark Martin scheme.
Okay, that makes sense then, because there is quite a span. I mean, I'm looking at a little of everything out there.
Yep. I'm going to have to widen those parameters, though. It was 92 to 07.
Ah.
Yep. They were originally going to do it for the 2003 season. But look at the distance that they put on the rest of the field here. And I think we'll be able to take a look back. Here they are. This should be them actually coming out of turn number 4.
You're going to need a Wayback Machine pretty soon.
Right. It's going to be pretty bad here as we take a look. Here's the track.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, all right. So if you can stay disciplined, run your race, what adjustments can you make? Can I do something that I can fix in the race to fix these cars? A lot of things. Yeah, well, you can have a caution that puts it together. Can I not take tires? Maybe pick up 7 seconds by not having to replace tires. Can I, if I do tires, can I change the tire adjustment? Can I make something change in this car? Because you can't go out there and change spring rate, but you might be able to add tape to the car, which could actually lower your downforce and make it pass over the car a little more. That way these cars will actually pick up some more speed. But man, when you start adding tape, we end up with a lot of engine overheat problems, and then you've got to see guys kind of sliding back and forth. So you'll see like the number 19 hanging out there on top right now of Darren Ingram. He might be trying to cool that motor off a little bit, seeing that he's been nose to tail out there with the drivers in front of him who have been kind of shuffling in and out. So we're seeing how it goes.
Yeah, I'm also looking at, we've got a listener out in the chat that's saying the 5 car is from the 2006 and also the 38. So they're making their own parameters, I think.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, that's what he said. Okay, that checks out. See, that's what I was saying. I was trying to widen the parameters. I wanted to double check my notes there and make 100% sure I'm not lying to you guys out there. But still, at 16 laps here so far, caution-free, already a huge gap from the rest of our field. About 13.5 seconds off from our leaders here is where everybody else is. I believe we've only had one driver have to retire already for the night. Looks like he may have had a huge package as he made it through lap number 11. I'm showing his max speed around 447 miles an hour, which is that's impressive.
Okay.
Well, everybody else is normally hovering around that 201 to 206 mark. So they should be, so seeing we ended up with an insane number like that, it looks like he came down on pit in lap number 12. 44 seconds in the pit, and that may have done him in for the night.
Yeah, and that would be Michael White.
Yes.
So good night, Michael White.
Yep. And hopefully we will see him return. But the upcoming races that we have here, Atlanta Motor Speedway is where we will be next. As Pro Shops MBNA 500. And we will be running there. Pretty excited.
We have a nice selection this season. Las Vegas, Lowe's Motor Speedway, Bristol, Michigan, Talladega, and for the Cup Chase, you're looking at Chicagoland, Dover, and good old Homestead, Miami.
I gotta admit, Stella, I do miss it being called Lowe's Motor Speedway. Now it's just Charlotte. I don't know. It used to be, oh man, we're going to Lowe's, and that's, you know, you always found the track that had the turnaround. Here we go. Jason Ledford. It looks like some miscommunication here. Hard hit. That's gonna do him for the night. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Oh my gosh. Holy cow! What a hit.
Yes. I think I might have felt that one in my molars.
Yeah, Jason Ledford and Justin Williams. I don't know if he had a loss of the monitor or what happened there. That thing just hooked straight to the left.
Yeah, he had no idea when, you know, that he was coming back up onto the track either. My goodness.
Yeah, but Stella, I'm fairly certain we saw something just like this at Nora with Albert Likens, High Line. Remember, he was riding this exact same spot, and then the tires just snapped to the left. I'm looking to see if that's the same issue, or does the O2 give a little assistance? All right.
Well, and the 26 went up, and I'm trying to figure out exactly why.
Boom. All right, we're going to double check this and see. So obviously we see what causes it. It looks like the O2 of Kyle Hubbard tries to make a move here.
Oh, now see, good. From that angle, the 26 did not look like he changed lines. The O2 was going to squeak in. Didn't quite put enough soap on that one.
Yeah. So that definitely is a bummer. With our first caution here of the night. Pit road getting busy. They are heading down. Definitely look for your driver out there. Hold your breath. There's going to be a couple of drivers really trying to squeak in here. Yep, missed that box.
Yeah. Two of them squeaking into the same pit stall.
That'd be something I'd like to see iRacing start to implement if pit roads are on or off. For any kind of damage. As soon as you're in that pit box, it definitely puts up a safer wall. That way guys can drive through each other. I would love to see that turn off, but I just don't know if anybody can whip in and out of the pit box like that.
Yeah, it's a whole different skill from what I can see that these gentlemen do versus in real life, because they come in and kind of glide through and kind of glide out. It's quite amazing seeing them come in and just slam on the brakes and slide into one pit stall.
Yep.
Out there in the real cars.
Some guys do take time, and that's what they do is they learn how to pit stop, and they go around the track, come in full speed, pit stop again, just to get used to it. So I'm looking at Jason Crumley out there in the 83. Looks like the Hot Tamales machine. Looks like they got that fender pulled off the wheel there. Looking back, Justin Williams, he's good to go. Checking to see if anybody else. Let me see if we can get our cam out there. Looks like the O2.
With no fast repair, I'd be very surprised whether...
Yeah, I think Kyle Hubbard might have just taken it back. You saw the wheels turn. That might be him heading to the garage. We'll double check out there because I am not showing any sort of functionality. Let's check again. There he is. I know, that's kind of ironic because that also is a Tony Stewart paint scheme.
Okay.
Much later on when he ended up, Home Depot ended up letting go and he got Office Depot.
Okay.
Yep. I think that's right when he, before he left and then started Stewart House Racing.
If you don't get what you like, do it yourself, right?
Right. And if the guy isn't doing it well enough, you go out there and do it yourself, like drag racing.
That's the only time I've ever seen him in person was in drag.
Yep.
In the drag cars.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
Yep, that's back there with out there with Old Smoke. Brian Whitney and Devin Lockridge will be sitting in the number 1 and 2 spot out there. And they did not pit this time around. 19 laps in, everybody else looks like they came down for mostly fuel and go. Only drivers look like they threw on some tires, sit to Justin Cope. And I believe it was Andy Reeves, but I'm showing Andy Reeves with a disconnect here. Come on.
Yeah, I saw a blink out, and I've been waiting for him to come back.
There he is.
There we go.
Yeah, I think something happened. All right, good communication with everybody out there. Excuse me.
Pardon me. Excuse me. Pardon me.
So we'll get back next to the outside there of Justin Cope in the number 2. Who's out there? I believe that is a Miller Lite, so that should be a Rusty Wallace machine. Yes, it is. Miller Genuine Draft.
All right.
I know. Getting pretty excited here. Getting ready to see these guys go back at it.
Yeah, right now our hard charger up 13 places is Russ Bovair, and he's sitting in 11th right now, just touching, getting ready to touch top 10.
Now we'll all hold our breath, seeing if he's going to make it. All right, green flag coming back out again. Here we go.
Ooh, sleep on the inside line. That lovely red, white, and blue car in third either didn't catch the memo or missed a shift.
Yeah, it should actually be Gettner out there. Patrick Gettner in the 45 machine. I think he's also got somebody else of Shane Wielden sitting in 8th currently, almost with a similar paint scheme.
Oh, my.
Boy, look at these guys. Look at that bank. Holding these guys on as they get up to speed, 193 miles an hour here.
31 degrees on those corners. They can definitely see their house from here.
Yep. So we go from the dismal 2 minutes and 3 seconds that we had on a pace lap down to 51. Now we're going to watch them pick up even more speed here as they get going. Right now, inside line is going to go to Brian Whitney. Seeing if the 38 machine of Cody Porter can push him a little farther. But remember, he's got to be careful. Not only is that coolant temperature critical, but so is the oil temperature. And he's going to be watching it. He's going to give a little push, and then through the turns, he's going to let off. That gets air back to the motor here. And especially how bumpy it is, last thing you want to do is buck the guy in front of you and ended up spinning him here. Devin Lockridge out there in the number 6 machine. Seeing if he can hold on. As he watches that inside line starting to work away from him. No help from behind as we sit. Oh my gosh. Just outside hanging on the net here.
Yeah, that's a new angle for you. And look at what he just did. 2 in front of him just went high line. I was going to ask you, so often we see high line at this track be the predominant and quicker one. Why is it so sparsely populated tonight?
Looks like nobody's interested in kind of floating that top line. I would say later on here in the race, we're going to see a lot of guys pile driving to get to the top. But we've already starting to get some separation out here, and the only way they're going to be able to hold up is they've got to hang in the draft, regardless of that setup. You've got to get up to the front. So right now, when they start battling each other and falling backwards, drivers like Mark Sikosi, who was a little bit slower down pit road, oddly enough, with a 7.87 time, he falls all the way down to the 12th position. And he's trying to fight to stay up front where he was fast with everybody else. But I think he's finally getting that separation as we're speaking about it. And Bosaver sitting in that 14th spot. And now he's going to be caught right in the middle. So he's got to catch up. Needs a driver sitting behind him. I say Andy Reeves in the 29 would be the man to do it. Otherwise, this field is going to pull itself apart as we break past the 1/4 mark here of the race.
Yeah, we do have one straggler out there at the end. But I do believe Kyle Hubbard has chosen to take it back to the garage for this evening.
Okay,
He is no longer in his pit stop.
Bummer. All right, well, that'll be the second time he entered the pit stall trying to fix that thing. And I think that was just enough for him. So 2 drivers down here on the night. Looks like Jason Ledford is still remaining in the pit box trying to fix it. 9.5 minutes now. I think a slew of cautions will make him feel better. That way you can see if he can get back onto the lead lap here. We've already got a couple of drivers splitting to the outside. There's another Rusty Wallace paint scheme out there in the midnight blue. In the 66, that is Scott Millard, who's been doing nothing but unfortunately rolling backwards here in this race. Scott Millard currently down to 19th. That's 10 lost. And he's trying to see if he can keep up with John Russo out there in the 59.
Speaking of keeping up, I noticed that Brian Whitney, who's playing up there in the front with Cody Porter, did not come down on that last caution. Neither he nor Devin Lockridge or Michael Belansky. So I'm kind of curious, what will our fuel window be this evening?
Well, 70% fuel limit. This should squeak out to about 35 to 40 laps. So he may be thinking there's going to be another caution here. And that'll be when he comes down and he'll have an extra set of tires. Most people didn't take tires, seeing that they've got to make it the rest of the way. And Stella, I've got to say, you know, we've seen a couple strategies out there. You take tires now and you need them later in the race, you've lost the race.
Yes.
You know, what wins races are tires. So we'll see if that comes into play here. Check out Stoney Benfield working on the outside, the 75 machine. I believe that is in front of a Davey Allison machine. Boy, I'll tell you what. Good job there by Darren Ingram, not really shoving him too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ingram could have gotten in a little bit of trouble there as he continues pushing, getting that 19 machine up to the front. I believe the 19 machine was driven by Jeremy Mayfield in this time period. So as they keep running here, drivers starting to drop off the paint just a little bit. I found that the smoothest part of this track is the extreme high line. The bottom is the roughest spot. But look at the number 5 here. Look at him make up that gap. Man, yes. So right now, that is Brian Wiggins picking up a boatload of speed. That gets him up around 211 miles an hour is how fast he was going out there. That is blistering pace. The only other driver to even touch that kind of speed was Clint Mata out there, but he's back in 13th. Not bad for starting 23rd here on the night. Lap number 30 underway. Stella, we are looking at 30% of the race. Almost complete. Only one caution here so far, back on lap 18, involving Justin Williams, Jason Ledford, and Kyle Hubbard. Fortunately, those drivers just unable to return back to the track so far, although one of them has, and that is Justin Williams, currently sitting in the 20th position. Right now, he's sitting a little more than 2 seconds off pace here. And he's going to be looking to play chase. Boy, what in the world is going on here in the back? Is that Andy Reeves kind of doing the snake move back there?
I was watching the tail wag on the dog. You got snakes, I've got dogs. What can I say?
Well, he keeps wagging around like that. Things are going to start getting, guys are going to start getting loose and spun out there. So the 29 machine, we saw him blink out earlier, and then all of a sudden he's not. So hopefully he does not have to have any trouble going on there. So we'll see if anything changes. All right. Stella, as we watch this race kind of unfold here, a lot of guys just starting to tick off these laps. Not a whole lot of crazy moves out there. We do see somebody, if they end up with an opening or a gap, they do shoot to get up to the front. Cody Porter, more than happy to shove himself back to the front out there as he gets pole position here on this race. So right now he is aiming for the most laps led to get a bonus point here to see if he can keep going. Right now we've seen drivers lead over 80% here of this race. and actually lose it. Just from a little different pit strategy out there, so we'll see with his quick pit stop that he had back on lap number 19. We'll see if that pays off for him. It should help him stretch past lap number 50, and at least I believe lap number 60. So we'll see if that continues on. Oop, 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 oop. I got a driver into the wall. Is that Queener? Yep. It looks like Queener got into the wall coming out of turn number 2. Should be the 33 machine out there.
He's holding it, though.
Yeah, trying to. Right now, I'm wondering if he's got any damage to the side of that car that's causing him any sort of trouble. Can't tell if there's any lopsided. There's the scratches above the fender. A little over top of the 33 there. So great job there by iRacing. Coming up with the
damage model.
Yeah, better graphics in the damage model so we can see that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think Justin Cope is itching to get around him, but Jeremy's not interested in letting him go by.
No, not at all. Let's see a little bit of that wheel work here from Justin Cope and how rough this track is as well, and what these guys are having to deal with.
You get a little bit of a break right there, and then back to it.
Yep. So we take a look there as we were passing the driver. It was down on the bottom of the racetrack. Michael White has reactivated. He's back at it again.
All right.
So he's going to start trying to march a couple of these laps off and see if he's got anything to go on.
All right. That's one of those never say die.
Stella, these guys are still racing side by side out there. Everybody trying to see if there's a little bit of a weak spot to move up one more position. Everybody all feels a lot more comfortable when there are drivers behind you instead of in front of you. Most of the wrecks you see at Daytona, though, is from the guy behind you. As we sit on top of Darren Ingram's number 19 machine. Working his way to the front. Everybody doing a little bit of wiggle, but notice the gap that everybody leaves dead center here, and the amount of speed that they are able to pick up. Let's get that speedometer out there. Right now, Darren Ingram touching 200 miles an hour. And the driver is Johnny Avila, who's currently sitting third. I believe our only Canadian out there on the track. Just keeping it going. All right, looks like Richie out there in the chat rooting on the faster pastor. Welcome back here to SimTraX Broadcasting. Do appreciate you guys joining us here on the stream for the NSR Series of the Gen 4 Cup Series, kicking back off of the Great American Race here, the Daytona 500. Right now, this race mostly led here by Cody Porter. After a quick pit stop there on lap number 19 for about 95% of our drivers, except for 3, who did not come down in the pit. Right now, they were able to get back up to the front. Only a couple took tires. The rest stayed out after they got fuel. So they were able to shuffle their way up to the front. Now, I believe it is Belansky right now, who's tied with Clint Motto with the amount of positions gained. That's 14 on the night.
That's impressive.
Yep, Motto doing currently 205 miles an hour. That's definitely cooking out there.
Talking about cooking, look at that temperature on the track.
Yeah, 96 degrees, so everybody pretty happy about that. It's kind of right in the sweet spot is what I would say.
Yeah, we've been running this track quite cold lately. some of our other leagues, and it has not treated these tires nicely at all.
No. Well, oddly enough, if it's too hot, the tires melt and they end up wearing away too fast. If the track is too cold, the tires actually have more grip. More grip, more wear. It actually makes it almost identical. So this is almost, I would say, Stella, right in the sweet spot. Right in about that 96 mark. So, yeah, about 90 to 98 is about where you want it for perfect conditions out there on the track. Go ahead. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. All you need is a light jacket.
Uh-huh. That's my perfect date. So...
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was caught up watching our Texaco and UPS get a little activity going there, and 2 and 3, hoping that nothing bad was going to happen.
Yeah, I believe I was getting caught up on the 59 machine, the Pennzoil of John Russo going up and make contact with that wall coming out of 2. Wonder if that's starting to become a problem out there on the track with the more rubber we're laying down out there. If guys are having trouble staying connected to the track and being able to maintain any sort of traction heading on around there. So as I kind of keep an eye here, we sit on with Sikosi. Sikosi, I guarantee, is running about 3/4 throttle here. There's nothing wrong with him pointing his toe and catching up. I think he's just maintaining his distance.
As long as he stays in that bubble.
Yep. Well, 2/10 in front of him, that's Wheeldon. And less than that sits with Beauvais. Right?
Beauvais.
Ah, well. We'll get it. We'll get it. It's our first time back here with the NSR Cup Series. We're going ahead and letting her rip. I'm trying to see Belansky right now up 15 positions. That's the 47 machine you see right dead center of our screen. Working on that outside line, tucking it behind Devin Lockridge in the 6. Right now that's 6. He should be getting right behind a Ford here. Seeing if he can charge up to the front. Catching up to some lap traffic again. I believe that is Michael White. Yep, 53 machine. Looks like he got his hardware fixed. He's going to go ahead and go bottom line here, I think. Oh, I think, but I am wrong. Oh, he holds above the line here. And we're going to see how everybody can drive. Let's do it. Right now, that's Brian Wiggins trying to work around here. 19 machine got pinched of Ingram. Ingram fell back. And the 53 machine goes ahead and marches off the field.
There we go.
That's all right. That's all right. Michael White can race his race. I'm just glad the communication was there not to get everybody all mashed up.
Yes. But we got a little bit of 3 wide action whether they wanted to or not.
Yeah. Well, instead of them kind of single filing out here, now I've got to admit, a little damage here. Jeremy Queener has cost him, as he is now way off the pace, about 17 seconds.
Ooh.
And Scott Millard farther than that. Millard, I'm seeing about 30 seconds off pace. So he may be in a chance of getting lapped here if he is not careful. Big wide track, 2.5 miles. These guys are definitely putting on the show. Right now, a couple of guys are having to make some questionable moves. I see the 19 of Darren Ingram doing a little something again. Almost right angling that turn. I don't know if I would be doing that, but I've seen crazier things. Let's see if we can take a look off the side here at Stony Benfield. See how everybody else is riding a little bit higher than off that paint, but right there, that bump. And it pushes everybody down close to the paint, and that's where everybody starts sliding all over the track there.
My goodness. Yeah, well, tonight we have the standard rules and whatnot. There's no passing below that yellow line.
Yeah, unlike how we were seeing it in New Hampshire, there is no yellow line. Guys are passing underneath on the turns. That was something. Looks like guys who did not pit yet, or, well, they didn't get their wish. No new caution. Lockridge and Whitney heading on down. First time here tonight. That leaves us with only one more driver who is yet to pit. Oh, man.
Wow.
Yep, as he fades to the top, I'm wondering if he's out of gas here.
Oh.
I'm not sure. He was only at 190. He's about 10 miles an hour slower. Okay, I think he might have gotten refired up here. He's definitely trying to work on the inside. He'll end up with a windshield tear off here. He's going to go again. He's going to go again. Because now he helps with the huge separation there between 8th place and the guys in the front. That's going to hurt. Well, that's only going to grow from there. Lansky leading the charge here on pack number 2, 2.5 seconds off pace. Looking to see if they can catch somebody. Clint Mata isn't even excited. He's not even going to slow down a little bit and see if they can catch up to keep it competitive. That's just going to leave our top 7 drivers driving away with this one. So drivers like Ingram and Mata are pretty happy at the position that they are in.
Man, you talk about him trying to
Caution.
catch something.
Devin Lockridge.
There you go.
The number 6 is around. Damage to the front nose and right rear.
Eek. Made a mess out of that number 6 machine, that's for sure.
Yeah, that he did. All right, we'll double check and see what happens back here. Devin Lockridge. Yeah, I thought something happened to Sikosi. I wasn't sure. It said something happened a few seconds prior to that. Wow, look out.
Oh, 2 took a shot to the wall just in cope. Still going north-south, unlike Mr. Sikosi, who's going south-north.
All right.
Yeah, what exactly? Here we go.
Yeah, I'm trying to find exactly when this pulled apart here. And maybe we can find... Because this is too high. There we go. Goodyear blimp never fails me. Oh, the 6. When the 6 checked up, you know.
Checked up, 26, yeah, pulled back, and the rest is history. Oof.
Ouch. I think that'd be the only thing that gets me is you weren't involved, but then you do get involved. So Sikosi right now is going to be coming down into pit road, hopefully to pull out some of these dents here. I think everybody's going to be coming down to get that top off on fuel. I think it would be suicide not to, and they're all heading down now.
Yeah, and here we are coming up when we start again, probably lap 50. If you haven't taken tires, now is the time.
Yeah, right. Now, yeah. We're seeing you reach about that halfway point. I would say maybe around lap number 80. If I still had a set of tires left, I would definitely throw those on and go back at it. Checking back out there in the chat, looks like Bobby Dennis is out there. And the number 22 machine, we'll hopefully be able to see him at Atlanta, normally rolling around in the Scott Wimmer machine, or in the Ward Burton machine. Good to see him returning back when he gets over influenza. So we should be back for Atlanta, and we'll cross our fingers because there are a couple nasty bugs rolling around out there. And it's taking a lot of these guys down. And appreciate him out there not sneezing and putting somebody into the wall, and I think that's exactly what he's trying to do.
He's probably as weak as a wet dish rag if he's got some of these pneumonia things that we've been hearing about. And it'd be more like not sneezing and hitting the wall, but maybe not having the strength to make a shift.
or fight these bumps we've been seeing them battle out there with that feedback.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
All right.
We do have Mark Sikosi and Devin Lockridge still sitting in the pits over a minute trying to get some of that damage taken care of. That is what no fast repairs do to you in the league like this.
All right.
Makes you kind of own it.
Hopefully it is not FUBAR. But speaking of FUBAR, guys, check out Track Day for Veterans, presented by FUBAR Studio, where racing meets freedom. Our sponsor here of the league. If you guys would like to sponsor the league as well, don't forget to reach out to Mark Sikosi or Justin Cope. One of these guys will help you out, and we'll get you out here on the broadcast and start shuffling customers your way. Pace car lights are off. Sikosi catching up here. Lockridge will be sitting right behind him. Michael White working his way on around. Hurry, hurry, hurry. They're working their way back down the backstretch. Still an interesting race here so far as we break over the halfway point. 2 cautions we've almost separated by evenly. About every 20 to 25 laps, we're going. So we got somebody going around, or a little miscommunication out there. But at that kind of speed, all sorts of things can happen. The guys getting spun around. So we'll see how well it goes, and hopefully we'll let her rip. Estelle will be holding on to her seat here, being pretty excited as we get ready to go. Number 28, sitting on the bottom of Landwehr. Landwehr looking to see if he can hold on, as he currently sits in third. Second place start where he really originally was, but most of our top 3 drivers are still sitting top 3. Porter had pole, sits there. And we're looking at Avila sitting in second, and Landwehr sitting in third. All right, let's go ahead and get this one back underway. 38 gets off to a great restart here. Dive into turn number 1. The Great American Race gets back underway. Right now we are seeing already a little separation here. They want to start catching up. Right now Justin Cope has got to get up closer to Gettner. Not want to let this track spread apart. And it definitely is happening. Cope moving his way up, and he's now caught him. But is Belansky going to leave him hanging? Lap number 53 gets started. Cody Porter. Landwehr Avila getting right back at it. 1, 2, and 3. That's exactly how they started this race. Rest of the field shuffling up, though. Unfortunately, the guys were hanging their heads after this race. Jason Ledford, 24th. Lost 8. Losing 18 was Kyle Hubbard. He ended up checking out back on lap 18. Michael White still out there rolling. And speaking of rolling, the number 5 is around heading up the track. Brian Wiggins. Right now, he does get airborne here. Slot flies off the track. Huge amount of damage to the number 5. That is going to do him for his night, but seeing that the car's still fired up, he should be okay. Holy cow, what a hit.
Yeah, you don't normally see the undersides of these cars.
No. So Wiggins torn up. The 83 torn up. As Jason Crumley. I see a blown engine. See, Scott Millard's got damage. Yeah,
Oh,
Scott
yeah,
Miller
that's
with a blown
definitely,
engine. That's going to do him.
that will be the night for sure.
Fastest time I've seen out of Scott Miller or his team being able to put an engine in is somewhere around 32.5 minutes. Then they've got to fix the damage. So Scott Miller may be taking this one back to the garage or hanging out as a spotter with his team as the number 66 is destroyed. The 83 of Jason Crumley was already on the back foot here, a couple laps down. And the 66 looks like they're trying to put a fire out there.
Nope.
As that car is still smoking. Devin Lockridge, he's still hanging out down in pit road here, now up to 40 seconds. Now let's go back and take a look and see what causes this caution as we saw the number 5 off track. How in the world did Lockridge get involved from all the way back here? I don't believe that. Let's try Russo. Yep, that's what I figured. There you go. The going back up the track, though, I think that's the part that kills me. Oh, boy.
66 looked like he was in a washing machine.
So here's the number 5. Up the track, gets hit.
But watch. Boom. And then the wall. And then a car.
Yeah, and the 66.
And then another car. Oh, my heavens.
Yeah, Scott Miller gets the worst of it here. I'm glad he's all right. We'll see if we find him in the infield car care center after this. So the 5 actually ends up getting spun out. And this is where he ends up, right here. Boom, getting into the back of the car. But still, it looks like he never lets off the gas. I mean, the tires are still spinning as we're accelerating.
Oh.
We never hit the brakes. Ever. We are still on the gas.
Heavens.
And I think it's given up because the engine's blown. 83, you see the right rear tire's off. Unfortunately, he's able to get it undone.
Yeah, we have seen where they've had to come and kind of push them off.
I would like to take more of an opportunity to see what happens to the 5, though. 5 did not clear Stoney Benfield.
No.
Wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. All right, well, Brian Wiggins, I think they're going to point fingers at him for getting this one started. It looked like Stoney was getting pushed off the track, and I give it to Stoney. He had to turn to the right to save his own car. Now, hopefully, we'll check out there on Stoney Benfield's car, and we'll see how much damage he has to the nose of that car. So it should be the last time around. Driver's going to start double stacking here.
Still have some guys coming in, like Mark Sikosi, probably trying to get a couple more pieces of damage taken care of.
Yep. As they try to retape that hood back down and get the bumpers off the tires and make sure they're clearing.
That would be good.
As it does look like Stoney Benfield did not get a whole lot of damage out there. We float over to Mark Sikosi. Sikosi with a 10-second pit stop. He's going to be looking to get back out there. Definitely representing the same paint scheme as Josh Conover. Both guys are league owners. Sikosi here with NSR. And Josh Conover over there with the NORA Racing League that you will see us live on Monday.
Like Jared Magoon is out there in our chat. Also rooting on the number 6.
Yeah, number 6 ended up getting a boatload of damage of Devin Lockridge as he is taking it back to the garage here for the night.
Ah.
So we will definitely see how that how these guys fare and see what happens. Like I said, I think Brian Wiggins is going to be down there in pit for some time. I don't know if they've removed him from the car or if they're seeing if they can do anything with it. Normally when a car is airborne, that's it for the night.
Yeah, both Scott Millard, Brian Wiggins, and Jeremy Queener all have been down there 4 minutes plus, almost 5. But
right.
those that are still rolling and still running are coming up on the restart zone.
Right, getting ourselves back under green as they break the cycle of the 20 to 25 mark for bringing out cautions. Get them back to back. Lap number 48, we ended up under a caution, get back under green. Lap 53, we're caught in another caution. And we are already starting to mess around 3 wide here in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Sliding right up the gut, does make it. Terrible camera angle there as we were trying to move and find Brian Whitney. That's who I was trying to find out there in the Bass Tracker boat machine. Currently running up on the 47. Looks like a Cartoon Network car.
I thought you were going to say it was a cartoon car. Cartoon Network, I can understand. Ah, there you go.
Look how bumpy this track is. They bounce, 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 bounce. A little track bar touch there. 47 out there, Blansky.
You mean that track bar?
Yep. See Stony
We didn't
Benfield in
even
the
reach in and
75.
touch it.
Stony Benfield in the 75, riding that inside line. You see him getting some assistance from the 7 of Clint Mata. Mata trying to work his way up to the front a little farther. He actually started in the back half of the field.
Yeah, we have some people that have made some huge inroads as far as moving up the line. I mean, our leader right now, Shane Gilden, up 13. One right behind him, Darren Ingram, up 18. I mean, that's hard charging.
Yep. Oddly enough, Cody Porter did come down into pit road for just under 6 seconds for fuel and go, but that has set him back to the 6th position. Right now, Porter looking to see if he can find a groove to get back up to the front. Can't miss him in the M&M's machine. He is just trying to find a groove to get through there. 38, that was Elliott Sadler, wasn't it? Yes, yes, it was. So Elliott Sadler fight his way up to the front with the Dale Jarrett car right behind him. Looks like contact with the wall from Darren Ingram. Too much speed for him. Had to figure out how to slow it down somehow. Wow. And I believe that is actually Michael White dead center. He was thinking about center 3 wide.
I don't know about that.
He rotates up to the top. That does give Andy Reeves a little bit of a groove, trying to see if he can entice him to go up to center. Andy Reeves, I think, would think better not to do that. These guys are still working out there on this track. Guys, don't forget to subscribe out there to the channel. I do check the chat. You guys can chat it up with us out here. Any questions, anything you want to see, we normally can zoom in and get a look at it. We had a lot of Faster Pastor fans a couple seasons ago. I'm waiting to see them light up this chat unless they are over there currently watching the Faster Pastor stream. I believe he streams over on Twitch. Yeah, I think they're on Twitch.
Man, there's a lot of horizontal movement.
Yeah. Well, the one who's making me nervous right now is Ingram. Ingram's moving a lot here. Down to the bottom, up to the top, down to the bottom, off the wall. So right now, I don't know if he can see the beginning of the line, but he's getting fidgety. I think that makes anybody on the track a little bit nervous and might be backing off just a little bit because they think something's getting ready to happen. Hop back in the car here with Michael Blansky. We're watching Landwehr move to the inside, and that's Cody Porter. That's going to put Blansky back down to 9th. So that's going to stop his 12th position gain on the night. Well, there's one for you, Stella. You see the M&M sideways looks like a 38?
Yes.
Genius.
Oh my goodness.
All right, well.
Yes, I agree.
Oh,
I
dog!
didn't-
Blansky! Oh my gosh, we're riding on board, and we almost got to ride firsthand in a wreck here. Holy cow, we just barely avoided that one.
That was just Tom giving Jerry the slip.
Holy cow. Whew. Sorry, my heart was racing there. I thought I was in the car. I said, oh no, look out. All right, well, Michael Belansky's probably taking a few deep breaths here before he tries to re-attack. He's got to compose himself. Holy cow. All right, let's talk about some of our guys here in the front. Top 5 drivers here. One to move the least amount of positions is actually Brian Whitney, who's currently sitting in second. Everybody else is a minimum of 10 positions. Bo Severe sitting in 23 positions up. Ingram up 17. Wheeldon up 10. Andy Reeves up 13. I mean, we can even go back to Clinton Mott, who's sitting 6, up 17 positions. And Michael Belansky up 14.
That's
right now, this is the back of the field up here in the lead.
It is. Yeah, all of our usual suspects of being up front for the full two-thirds of this race are now sitting, between 8th and 13th.
Yep. Well, as track conditions are changing, remember, an open setup league, which I prefer, you've got to make adjustments throughout the race. And I'm wondering if somebody's making a mistake, somebody's doing something a little different. Because right now, Cody Porter is getting a face full of dirty air back there and is unable to fight his way up to the front the way he has been this whole race. So a quick top off on fuel, he adds another 30 pounds to the car. And notice how Cody Porter's pretty much locked up in that 9th position and cannot seem to get any farther forward than that.
Now, who is that up on the high line? They are staying right up with everybody. No worries about not having a draft partner. Are they using the door draft to stay up with everybody?
Yes, and that is actually the 53 of Michael White.
Ah.
And he is currently down, I believe, 18 laps. And he is rolling with the leaders.
Yeah, I was going to say, he is showing his sponsors' colors there just to make sure that they see that he had a good car.
Yeah, I like how you bring up the sponsor colors. That man is looking for a sponsor to put on the car. Definitely had a rough start here to the race, but he is showing you he can hang with the leaders as that outside line working hard. As the 47 machine out there is definitely turning up front. Michael Belansky. Now, Stella, we've talked about nothing about Michael Belansky here for the last 20 laps. This guy just keeps seeming to find the camera, and he knows exactly what to do. 18 positions, gained holding on the 3rd, working that outside line.
Nice little push there by the number 1 of Brian Whitney.
Whitney definitely trying to keep that outside line at bay. Do not want them getting any sort of speed out there. All right, Stella, we're going to have a little bit of a chance here to talk to one of our drivers who ended up getting in that wreck all the way back on lap number 53. Brian Wiggins, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, Brian Wiggins, I hate to see what happened to the number 5 machine out there. Talk to me about what happened.
I honestly don't know. I knew Stoney was below me. And I don't know, the leaders started running a different line, and I just kind of got crossed up and made a mistake.
Just kind of a lapse. Yeah, things happen, man. It definitely, I hate to see how many cars it collected, though. But, man, oh, man, I'm assuming you're done for the night here because it looks like you got bumped and banged around out there for just a little bit. But I believe I'm looking, and that car is mobile.
Yeah, we're going to go out there and just get laps in.
All right, Brian, hopefully this your luck turns around as you head to Atlanta next week. Go ahead and give me a shout-out while I got you here on the air.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Brian Wiggins here, definitely trying to work his way back to the front. He's got some work to do. And try and knock down some of those laps. Not bad. As it came down into pit for another 31 seconds to make sure that car was squared away. See if you can go out there and try to drive some of them out. Stella, I would say, if you're a lap down, you got to keep charging. Right now, you're looking at Mark Sikosi currently trying to push Gettner here. And right now, they are in trouble. They are trying not to get caught, currently sitting at 190 miles an hour. And they are sitting about 5 miles an hour faster.
Here they come.
Yep. Well, I think the crazy part is what I like to kind of zoom in here and take a look at is actually when the leaders do catch the drivers here, what ends up happening. So here's another squeeze. Okay, squeeze toward the top. Now we're going to see how they handle toward the bottom. Look out. I believe that is Justin Williams they're running up on there. And now they're going to rotate to the outside again. Standing firm, though, does sit the number 53 of Michael White. Not interested. Ah, man, I think somebody might help him make a decision there.
Yeah, 43 kind of helped him into the wall. Either that or 53 just avoided a little bit too hardy.
Well, it's sometimes hard to judge what to do at 200 miles an hour. All right, so now we see Sikosi in the 45 machine. Sikosi sitting in the 8th. And then we're going to see if that's going to, they're just going to go ahead and blend in. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, and honestly, as a lapped car, that's exactly what you want. You want to be able to blend in and continue to march back. There's absolutely no chance of you getting back on the lead lap at that point.
Oh, if you let them just all pass you?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Taking a look here. Lap number 72 underway. Stella, we're almost at the 3/4 mark.
And Scott Millard is coming back out onto the track, number 66.
Wait, the 66?
Yeah. After 16 minutes, hey, they got that engine done. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh, left a little bit to be desired in the body damage area.
I'm listening here. Something's wrong with the car. Something's wrong with the car. He's moving. All right, let's get back to it.
Yep, towed back.
Yeah, I think something happened. I'm wondering if he got going and started losing power again. So a little bit of that Blue Devil did not seal up those head gaskets. I know. I should be shot for that one. All right, Scott Mata. Look at that. How would you like to be in Scott Mata's position, sitting in that number 7 Sim Magic machine? Currently sitting in 4th.
I like it.
Boy.
I mean, top 5. I like he's popping out right there and grabbing a little air, too, everybody.
There you go. Here's a little off the side, taking a look back. Notice how close some of these chin spoilers are getting, especially Sikosi's there on the bottom. Well,
yeah, I'm not sure he's not picking up pavement.
Yeah. Well, oddly enough, back in the day when they did this, they used to put a plastic valance on the bottom that would actually grind away on purpose. And they'd have the driver go out there, run a bunch of laps, and the track would actually cut it down to where it needed to be. Then they would come back after pit, after 2 or 3 times, they double check it, make their measurements, and then actually cut the bumper cover to meet at the bottom where it wouldn't be so flimsy and it'd be a lot harder. And that's why you see some of them all bolted along the front, is that is the permanent one that they put on there.
Okay.
So
it kind of files it to the right, and maybe it's 4 inches on one side, 3 3/4 on the other?
Right, just enough to make sure no air gets underneath the car.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, but with these bumps, I mean, these guys are almost getting airborne, at least on the back end, I can see. I can't even imagine, doing this in a 2,000-pound car.
Right, but that's also why you see them coming out of pit, and they are so much higher off the ground. G-forces and everything pushing these guys down. The cars were a lot more malleable back then. You could make a lot of more adjustments than the next-gen cars. Those things drive more like bricks. There isn't really any body flex. There's anything to really tweak. This is back when they were using rubber discs to adjust spring load around some of these turns. So you'll see somebody say, "Hey, we'll need to take a rubber out," and they pull one of the pucks. Yeah, well, that would be a turn of the panhard bar, but track bar in the back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be
I
adjusting
remember hearing them
saying, "Oh, the 47."
Oh no!
Well, Belansky wanted to get back into the camera, but not that way. And I believe Cody Porter's involved as well.
Oh my heavens!
Belansky, Porter, and Benfield.
M&M and Stoney, yes.
Whoa, way.
Naughty.
Well, we'll see if there was any sort of retaliation there, as the admins will be taking a look at that.
Yeah, rightly they should. Boy, he is crushed. That left front. Oh. Not quite sure he can
No, it's crab walking.
get into the pit without incurring a bit more damage.
All right, checking in on our previous leader here of the race. 38 Machine's got a little bit of a mushed up nose there on the left front. Might cut a tire down there. He's got to be careful as he works his way back around. And they'll be back at it here. All right, let's see what causes our caution flag out here and what got these two involved. Oh, 38 tries to send it up to center. And the 47 what? Tried to block here?
I don't know. Or just had no idea he was there. But I'm not sure why he would come down like that. Oh. Oh, Stoney's got him locked up, but he still makes a small tag.
Yeah. Well, out of the three of them, Stoney got the least of it.
Yes.
All right, let's try this again.
Oof. 88 thought he was doing well. He was going to follow him. 38 right through the middle there. Realized not happening. Pecks up. A little bit of damage himself.
Yeah, here's from Sikosi's angle. Yeah, we have no idea if he was looking to block or if he was trying to swing down to the bottom. Because Sikosi started riding up a little bit. Ends up catching them all. Yep. So Cody Porter going to be in pit road here for a little bit of time. We'll see. Notice how that left front. Pit crew. Yeah, there you go.
I was gonna say I should not be seeing the tire. Bloop,
nope.
There it goes.
Pit crew doing their best here. Left front fender, right front fender's got to get pulled off a little bit and kicked in. Get that thing squared away, and he'll be back out on the track. I think good as new. As we see him sit here waiting on the guys to figure out whether it's time for him to go. Yeah, he's still got plenty of time. He can hang out down there in pit road. As you can see, we have guys moving down there in pit. All right, there's a new thing for iRacing. So, Stella, remember timing. I said there was a little bit different things that iRacing's doing out there for some of the graphics and things like that, and we were kind of joking around about
Barney.
How Barney is now waving the flag. Instead of waving it with his rotator cuff, he's out there actually doing a little wrist action now. So it looks pretty good. We're actually starting to see pit crew members moving. And that, to me, I'm pretty excited to see where that goes. Because if we can start, let's say, maybe a year from now, seeing pit crews walking out and changing tires on these guys' cars, I think that would be something.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be exciting, especially trying to get 40 drivers and their pit crews doing their thing. Yeah, that would be pretty exciting. So exciting right now is Clint Mata. He's got to be pretty excited as he is up toward the front here. 22 positions gained. Whitney sits second. Wheeldon is third. Darren Ingram fourth. And Landwehr sitting currently in fifth. I believe that's Cody Porter working his way up to the back of the field here. Should still be on the lead lap.
Does appear so. The one, our first person with a lap down, which should get the lucky dog if we do have another caution, though, will be Michael Belansky.
Yep, which Belansky is mobile. But boy, does he got some damage to that car.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I think is going to save him if a quick caution comes out. First thing he's going to do is
Either
haul
that
around and try to run straight back in.
Either that or something from Acme. Like a little extra rocket.
What?
Hmm.
Wouldn't that be Looney Tunes?
Yeah, but I don't know Cartoon Network.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't think they had Acme rockets there. Let's see if anybody's got anything on that out there in the chat. I see Jay. I was expecting actually Jay Tway to actually be out there on the track tonight, but I don't know if he's got some issues going on with his computer. I knew he said he was, I believe, upgrading his processor.
Yeah, but he had somebody trying to help him. They said, you need to update it. He says, but it's out of the computer, his process. And they said, well, put it back and update it and then take it back out. And he's like, I don't think I can do that. So,
Bro.
yeah, he's live and die by the CPU.
All right, no other drivers decide to revisit down pit road. Michael White staying on the track and continuing to run here tonight. Although 21 laps down, is now up to 19th instead of dead last of 24th.
Well, let's take a look at the fact that this is our first race for scoring tonight. They've had the Bud Shootout, they've had the Gatorade, but that was for placement more than anything else. So this league, you will have 1 point between all finishing positions, starting with 43. So the first place winner would get 43, the second place winner would get 42, and so on. But there's also bonus points. 1 for lap led, 1 for most led, fastest lap, pole position. If you can finish a race with no incident points, bam, you get a bonus point. And if you finish at least 50% of a race, you also get a bonus point. So there's no reason, if you can roll, to not continue rolling.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Well, Michael White has broken past the 50% mark as he's now going to be completing lap number 59 here tonight as we get back under green. 20 laps left to go here at Daytona. As we get back underway here. Right now, I am going to be on the edge of my seat to see if Cody Porter can come up with anything. Something tells me he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. Oof.
Wow, getting some movement.
Yeah, Shane Wheeldon did not want top line.
I guess not. He got out of there pretty briskly.
Yep. See that bump up on the track before they head into turn number 1. And number 7 of Clint Mata trying to hold on there as Darren Ingram is doing the snake again.
He is.
Right now he is shifting all over the track. 19 to go. Andy Reeves sitting in 10th, looking to fight his way back to the front.
We're 3 wide there, about 5th row back.
And is Belansky in trouble? Uh-oh. I think he blew the engine.
Oh.
Yep.
Whoop.
Yeah, blown engine. So it must have been an overheat. That front end was crunched down too far, and he tried to run it.
Wow.
Not going to bring out a caution, though. Ingram to the top line. That tucks him in front of the 53 of Michael White, who's a bunch of laps down. White been actually able to hang with the leaders more than anybody else out there. Although he is starting in the front. Avila is starting to work his way up as well, sitting in the 88.
53 off the wall.
Oh, boy, Whitney. Lost connection. Where's Whitney? There he is.
Oh.
Yep, right
Not
now
a
our
good
leader
time.
is on and off the track here. This is currently looking out of Stoney Benfield's car. We've been here once before. Boy, kind of a gutsy call there by Stoney Benfield to snug down on those guys. And right now our top 5 is making a breakaway.
Huge.
Yeah, Landwehr not able to catch him here. Cody Porter now up to 7th. Porter going to be looking to make a statement here. He's going to start shoving. But that is actually shoving the lap car to see if he can help get himself up to the front here. Now, Stella, there was a huge mix-up here once they got out there. Stoney Benfield dropping down to the 5th position. Now we'd love to get back into the booth and talk with us again. We'll just see if this is going to be his race to do it. Right now the number 43, Wilden, not interested in letting him by again. Clint Mata sitting in the 7 car.
And Ingram is just dropping back. I mean, here he was right up in the thick of things in 2nd, and boom, he is in 12th.
Yeah. Not sure if Ingram had a huge problem here. Whoa! It's like Ingram crashed the car.
Yes.
We'll stick with what we know out here. Let's see if we can find what in the world happened.
Yeah, these 5, if they watch their P's and Q's, they, with 15 laps to go, they could, oh, yes, but that would be, our driver in first, Brian Whitney, blinking, could definitely, cause a bit of a shakeup here.
Yep. Well, hopefully right now Whitney is friends with the drivers currently sitting behind him. Like if everybody wanted to see him march back, everybody shifts to the top line and leaves him dead in the water. Then you can make the option of you jumping to the top line and guys getting caught up.
Mark Sikosi and Jason Crumley making up their own little line, catching up to the 2nd clump.
Yep, that should have been Queener that they were working on getting by. Queener now up to the 17th spot.
Oh, Michael White having a connection issue again, which might be why he started out in the pits for a while.
Yeah,
Might be having that trouble again.
He's struggling. Brian Wiggins is trying to catch up as well. Wiggins seeing if he could pass Jeremy Queener out there. As Queener's doing about 160 miles an hour. That's as fast as that car will go. Hey, Joshua King rooting on Wielden. Wielden currently sitting in 4th. After a 14th place start, not bad. I was going to say, he can still hold his head up regardless if he comes into a podium position. But it is definitely playing in his favor here. He's trying to work on it.
I believe Michael Belansky has called it an evening.
Yeah, not going to hang out long enough to blow that engine again. Made it 80 laps here in the race.
Yeah.
Pass a little bit of that smoke. Look at Stoney Benfield, outside line. See if he can take a look for it. Right now we are sitting shotgun here with Shane Wielden.
They do get close. liking it too.
Oh, Stoney.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's using that door draft. One wrong move by somebody up front, and it's going to put him into the wall.
It is.
11 to go here at the line.
That's why I find myself holding my breath sometimes when we're in that position. It's like, oh.
Yeah, he'd get himself in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, he's there's not exactly a blinker you can put on these cars and say, I'd like to merge in, please. This is everybody for themselves at this point. And Whitney, Beauvais, Mata, they like where they are.
Yep. Now, right now, if Stoney is able to tuck in behind the 43, if he can get a huge run, he may be able to sling from the outside all the way to the outside and then charge up to the front. But that's going to require a whole lot of communication out there and a whole lot of understanding. And when a guy's got to run, you can't block him out. So I think that would be why we saw Cody Porter getting a little upset out there.
Now, speaking of which, is he still stuck behind our lap traffic?
Actually, no. This is Cody Porter right now. I'm trying to use Landwehr here to his advantage. 10 laps left to go. Getting a little uptight. He wants to get up to the front. Boy, oh boy, what in the world can you do when you're in a situation like this? You want the opportunity to fight your way up to the front, but they are closing the gap. Second pile is now starting to catch up. This is going to be a beautiful showdown here. Right now, they have caught the front pack. 9 laps left to go. Cody Porter within striking distance now. Porter now up to 298 miles an hour. As the track has slowed, tires are wearing in. Right now, where does Porter decide to go outside line? That's going to push Stoney to the front if they can work it together. Stoney holding on to second. Now Wayman for first. That's going to stall him out. 38 looking for a groove. Now remember, this is what got the 38 in trouble last time. He's taking a look up the center. So keep this race.
So tempting.
Yeah, I know. Take a look as we get in the Michelin Chopper Chase view here. Looking right over top, running in some lap traffic.
Oh,
Stoney.
Stoney.
Yep, here it goes. And you can say that was...
and there's the end of Cody's night. And Stoney's and...
No caution.
Justin Cope and... Really?
Caution, there it is.
Okay,
that's the caution.
That was not cool.
Well, we kind of saw how that one went down. Stoney was having to avoid a lapped car out there of Jeremy Queener. And when he did, I don't think Porter let off. Okay. We'll take a look at it again. Before I put my foot in my mouth here. Cody Porter gave a shove from behind, and that's what ended up causing this.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. I thought Stoney was up in the front and kind of got a little...
Right, but watch how
squirrely.
Stoney gets turned here. So Stoney here. You see how Stoney's to the top? Cody Porter gives a shove here to the 28 while he's trying to brake. Watch the 28. Lets off the gas. Boink. Pushes him forward enough to shove him up into the left quarter. Turns Stoney around, and he's got nowhere to go.
But was Stoney not out of shape already?
Oh, yeah. Stoney was getting loose, but when he slowed down, he opened up the room. 28 wasn't interested in dive bombing into that hole. Porter wanted to go. He wanted to get back up to the front. And when it did, that piled them all up.
Yeah. What got Stoney out of shape to begin with?
There we go. There's a rotator cuff again.
Yeah, I don't get it. Oh. One more.
What got Stoney out of shape?
Yes.
Having a jerk there because of a lapped car.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it again. Remember, we sat over top here, and this is what gets
There we
Stoney
go.
out of shape. Let's see if we can find a better angle here. All right, here we go. Here's Stoney. Watch. Tries to pull down, little nudge. Now, did you see Porter shove that 28 car through the center?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
28 had already made contact with Stoney the first time.
Right,
And
but
got
had
him out
let
of
off
shape.
the
Okay.
gas. Was, you know, hey, before
Yeah.
we end up all spinning out and dying here.
Like we
And I
just
don't
did.
think Cody Porter was interested in slowing down. I'm not pointing all fingers at the 38 here, but that does give me 4 drivers that are still currently out there on the track. I guess Stoney Benfield working his way out of pit, though. Mark Sikosi actually gets his lap back here, so he'll actually be in contention for possibly a top 5.
No kidding.
Yeah. There we go. Nathaniel's working his way out. So is Johnny. That should be Landwehr and Avila. Just looking to see if Justin Cope or Andy Reeves is going to make it out. Reeves been pretty quiet here, but the 29 machine breaks free out there in the Kevin Harvick machine. Right now, remember, it is yellow flag straight up in the air. Currently, they are getting ready to exit through 3 and 4 here. Out of 4, he better hurry up. Unless they turn the lights on for one more lap. Yeah, it looks like they're going to extend it one more lap here. Sikosi working his way down pit.
Now, who has the ability to make that change?
Edmonds.
Okay.
It may have been a field wiping wreck. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to bunch everybody back together and try to level the playing field again to get these guys back at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be much of a race there, Stella, to watch the last 4 cars survive. Yeah, we started with 24. And drivers who did not pit are Whitney, Bovere, Mata, and Wheeldon. Wow. All right, so really your 4 drivers right here in the screen are the guys who did not pit. Everybody else came down on 94 or later. They're going to be going at it again.
Clint Mata, I have to admit, is the only one that really worries me there in that top 4.
Lap number
Having
54.
Last come down on 54.
Right.
I mean, fuel-wise and tire-wise, diggity dog.
Yeah, I give it to him for hanging up front, though. He has been trying to fuel save on this track as much as he can. So Justin Williams trying to work on catching back up to the field here. Should be green this time by. Yep. All right, pace car off where it belongs.
Nice.
We'll see our guys get back underway here.
Doesn't the back need to snug up?
4 laps left to go as we sit with our fans here. Right now, Brian Whitney with a little bit of blinking. Doesn't look like they're moving fast now, but even from this angle, we're at 160 miles an hour heading through turn number 2. Starting to do a pretty good clip here. Right now, Whitney's hanging out front. He's nervous. Stoney Benfield still hanging in 4th. But notice he's on the inside line now. Outside line starting to pick up some pace. Cody Porter would like to be back out there, leading the good chunk of these laps. That's going to end up taking him out of the running as we
He
go
is
by
still
to
in
send
pit.
him 3 laps down.
Coming up on 5 minutes.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right now they are trying their best to find out where he is.
Clint Mata has got to be having cardiac arrest every time he thinks that.
Yeah, admins at any time can end up booting him off there if he's lost. If he ends up wrecking and taking out the field, I guarantee there's going to be, it might be a suspension for it. Daytona 500 is winding down. 100 laps here at the Legacy track. 2 laps left to go here at the line. Brian Whitney sitting in that number 1 spot. Clint Mata now second. Bovere is sitting in third. Tony Benfield drops down to 5th, but still battling out there with Shane Wheeldon. Right now I see Joshua King out there rooting on Shane Wheeldon still. Waiting to see if he chimes back in as we hope to see this continue. Right now as they shoot down the backstretch here. Still somebody's trying to find an angle. Avila taking a look. Outside line. He's going to push the 28. Right now we are sitting on here with Stoney Benfield as they're 3 wide here in the center. 16 machine trying to shoot up the gut. Able to get his. He's got a blinker to the inside. Stella, we are still 3 wide with the last lap here. What happens, happens, and hopefully we don't get a whole bunch of hurt feelings here at the end.
Yeah.
Right now, this is them shooting through turn 1 and 2, 200 miles an hour. They're firing through here. Look at the number 16, trying to see if you can find a groove. 28 keeps it off the wall. That's good news. Shane Wheeldon, the 43, has to make a move here. Needs to shove the 16 to get it off the 3 wide. Does. There's 1 bump. There's 2 bumps. That's going to give him a shove. 28's going to see if he can hold him from rotating up. Remember that number 7 hasn't changed tires since lap 54. Goodbye. They're gone. Outside line is eliminated himself. Brian Whitney coming to the line here, trying to squeak it out. Mata going to get him half a car length. 16 machine of Bovere keeps it in for 3rd. Whitney wins it here at the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. Not bad. Great finish there, Stella.
Yes, I enjoyed that. I am sorry to see the 28 of Landwehr just, woo! I mean, I don't know what caused it, but that sharp left turn took out everybody behind him.
All right, not bad. Clint Mata coming up with it. Able to squeak by. And get a couple of these other guys in. Boy, it was close. All righty. So we'll be in the hunt for Brian Whitney. We'll be in the hunt for Russ out there to see if they're able to join us here in the booth here at the end of this race. As Brian Whitney is going to burn them down.
Yeah, this was a rough night for Yates Racing.
Yeah, Joshua King showing out there. Shane Wheeldon, yep, top 5. So not bad out of the 43 machine. Boy, definitely a close finish there. Stoney Benfield with Shane Wheeldon. That was close. And only about 30 thousandths of a second, Mata was able to beat out Russ. All righty. All right. Awesome job. Appreciate you guys joining us here for the NSR League. We'll be cutting away here for just a moment, run our guys down, and we're going to have a little conversation with them about this race and what they have upcoming. Hold on just a moment. All right, everybody catching up with our second place finisher here, Clint Mata. Very close, 30 thousandths of a second is what you beat Russ out in the 16 by. Talk to me about this race, man.
And started in the back, kind of a late comer. Got notified about it this morning. Great race. I'm a rookie with these guys. I was fortunate to get a spot, and I couldn't be happier. It was clean. These cars, they're a handful. And when you get out there at those speeds and the way that the wind has the impact on the car, I'm really happy with the performance. I'm happy with my drive. Like I said, I didn't know anybody in the room, and just try to keep it clean. And at the end, got pretty challenging. The one car was blinking quite a bit. Hopefully it didn't show on the broadcast as much as it was in my windshield.
Oh, it was.
Definitely added a element of difficulty, so to say.
Yeah, we were nervous if you were going to be able to push because of the amount of blinking that was actually happening out there, but you were able to overcome. Now, you join up here. You know, you didn't get to race out there with the guys during the Gatorade 125s, but I do ask. You know, we move on to Atlanta next week. Will we see you return, and if so, what would your strategy be?
Yeah, at this point, I'm locked in. Right, I don't want to give up the momentum. I will be back next Saturday for Atlanta. That strategy this week is to hopefully make some new friends, get into some practice rooms, and see what we got come a week from today.
Oh yeah, and definitely be able to fit in there. Maybe get you a paint scheme out there with some sponsors on it. So go ahead and give me your shout outs out there of the sponsors. I see Sim Magic on the car, and maybe any people out here that might be watching you.
Yeah, you know, I do like to support the equipment that I race. So I've got the Sim Magic wheelbase and the pedals. Obviously the butt kicker, you got to be able to feel the bumps out there. Not only do I sim race, I also run Spec 360 sprint cars out here in Northern California. So not sure if they'll be watching. They definitely will be next week when I let them know what we're up to. But I'd like to say a big shout out to Scaffold Solutions for getting us our methanol each week out at the dirt track.
Awesome, man. Definitely. Hey, throw them on the car. That might be something to see as well. Clint Mata, congratulations on your second place finish there, buddy, and we'll see if you can keep that roll on. 21 positions gained on the night. That ties you for hard charger of the night.
Awesome. Have a great weekend.
Good luck, buddy. All righty. That was definitely an awesome race here, but definitely I want to make sure we squeeze in our race winner. And right now, I guarantee you, Brian Whitney is going to have his be having his internet checked out there. Brian, you got a copy on me here, bud?
I do.
All right. Well, you hear the biggest complaint. The number one was a great racer. We just couldn't find him. What in the world is going on out there? And how in the world did you handle out there on the track with people pushing you? And you know everybody gunning for that spot.
In the south, a lot of storms happening, so some internet issues tonight. But car's fast. Johnny Taylor with Nitro built the set. Super quick and handled great. Super thankful for no one running me over, and thankful for Clint pushing me to the win there.
All righty. Now, I know Johnny Taylor, don't I? Did he drive the number 3 car?
Yeah, he didn't make the race tonight. He was supposed to make it, and he wasn't able to make it.
I'll be darned. Okay, so I do know who built the setup to your car. Very fast, actually runs out there with the Doghouse Racing League. I don't know if he's returned back there, but definitely I know who he is, so I know you've got a great setup, but it also takes a lot of input from the guy behind the wheel. I've heard nothing but positive things out of these Gen 4 cars. How do you feel out there in them?
Oh, they're a blast. They are a handful. You have to be up on the wheel. There's no relaxing, and that's what's so exciting about them. They're an exhilarating car to drive.
Yeah, none of this very brick driving where everything's so solid and moves around, kind of moving around, things like that. But yeah, the Gen 4s, I hear nothing but great things that these cars are just so fast, and you got to be really attentive to them. But how does that transfer since you came from a win here at Daytona, moving on to the Atlanta race, man? That definitely should be wild, and hopefully the storms won't be there when you're racing there as well.
I agree. It'll be good racing. There's a bunch of good drivers in this league, and I enjoy coming here racing with all these guys. It's clean, it's pretty professional, and we just go and get it done.
All right. Well, I see Johnny Taylor is out there in the chat, so he is tuned in and he sees who's sitting in the in victory lane here. Go and give me your shout-outs here, Brian, and let's get you ready for Atlanta, buddy.
Thank you, Johnny Taylor with Nitro. I mean, he set me up. We practice and put this together. Can't thank him enough. Can't thank my family enough for supporting me.
All right, Brian Whitney, congratulations, man. We'll hold our breath and see how you do next week.
Hey, thanks, Patrick.
Yep. All right, not bad there by Brian Whitney, coming away with the win. As you can see this photo right there, that is beautiful. Leading a giant pack of cars all the way to the end. What an excellent shot. And we'll probably use that as a thumbnail here later on. But Stella, we take a look at how many guys were trying to dive for that position. 24 drivers started this race, and it came down to the final 8 or 9 guys right here at the line, all gunning for the same spot. What a race it was here with the NSR League. Great to see how it kicked off here with the Gen 4s. I know we were having a little stumble out there with the Xfinities and the Next Gens, but I think the Gen 4s is where it's at, and I heard they're even getting a bigger update coming soon.
Ooh, I can't wait to see it.
Yep, I think we all can. I do appreciate you guys joining us here at SimTraX Broadcasting. Don't forget to subscribe. I do chime in. I do see you guys over there talking, especially unless y'all are getting rowdy. Then I just ignore you. But then we go ahead and bring you guys in, and we talk to you a little bit about what's going on out here at the track, some different situations, or maybe a different view that you guys have. So don't forget to subscribe, and then that way you guys can chat it up with us out there, and it helps me out on the numbers, seeing that we have broken over 800 subscribers, I think making it into our second year. So appreciate the NSR Series bringing us back on to kick it off here with their Gen 4. Stella, anything left to add here?
No, I'm glad to be back, and I look forward to some more good racing next week.
All righty, SimTraX Broadcasting, thanks to you for tuning in. Be well, be safe, be kind. We'll see all you guys at Atlanta next week.